Ayan, laro tayo ulit. New game. Ayaw day, ayaw. Ayaw, 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 Bria. Give Papa. Ayaw, Bria. Ayaw, no, 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 no. No, no. Ayaw, ayaw, ayaw. Hindi mapakong. Ayaw na, di na makaon. Di na mait. Ayaw, di na mait ha. Di na mait. Ayaw din na day. Ayaw day na yung mga dress. May sangina nila kuya. Ayaw, ayaw, ayaw. No. May sangina nila kuya. Ayaw, mabuling na sangina ng kuya. Hibod ka. Hibod ka. Practice. A. Asang A. A. Caps lock. A. B. C. day. Hina ka day.
Let's take a closer look at the stories and people shaping our nation right here on Zoom In. I'm Menchu Makapagal. From the seat of power to grassroots empowerment, a former vice president emerges as an influential personality in helping improve the condition of countless Filipinos. Now she sets her sights on serving her hometown as possible mayor of Naga City. Shifting gears after proving to the voters that there is such a thing as principled politics during the 2022 presidential elections, her influence continues to resonate among the Filipino people. Let's zoom in on the journey and future plans of former Vice President Leni Robredo. Ma'am, hello and welcome to the program.
Hi, Menchu. Thank you for inviting me.
It is definitely our pleasure. Now, I know it's been 2 years since your historic run for president. What has changed since, from VP to citizen Leni? Malaki ba yung pagbabago?
Pagdating sa trabaho, not much has changed. Because when I was vice president, we were doing Angat Buhay already as a program. So as far as Angat Buhay is concerned, it's the same. Even when I was part of government, Angat Buhay was anchored on private sector support. So pareho pa din siya until now. Siguro what has changed is that aside from Angat Buhay, I've been accepting speaking engagements here and abroad. So I've been traveling. Siguro 1/3 of the time I traveled for speaking engagements. And it also gave me an opportunity to spend more time with my daughters and to pursue the other advocacies that I have been having since I was still a practicing lawyer.
But after the 2022 presidential elections, would you say na parang ayoko na magpolitika, I don't want public life anymore?
Siguro mas naisip ko yun when I was still in government. When you encounter a lot of frustration, especially when I was vice president. Kasi parang yung vantage point ko when I was vice president, parang I was able to see things on a macro level. Kasi dati ground talaga ako. And you realize that you're in a position to make a difference. Pero because of the political landscape, ang daming limitations. So pag may frustrations na ganun, parang iniisip mo, bakit ko pa ito ginawa kung I will not be able to maximize the position. Pero eventually naman, I realized that despite the limitations, marami ka pa din pwedeng gawin. Pero after that, parang because yung trabaho siguro has not changed, parang wala naman siguro, hindi siguro pagod.
Phone.
Siguro yung realization na buti na lang nasa labas na ako.
Hindi
In the sense na
Bishop.
mas marami ako nagagawa tuloy when I was not vice president
Bishop.
anymore. Because a lot of the people we partner with do not see me as kalaban or opposition leader, unlike when I was still vice president. So para mas buwelo.
But the millions of Filipinos who voted for you back then showed sizable support as well for your brand of leadership. They were seeing hope and amid urgent national concerns na parang unmet pa rin throughout all of the administrations. What is your realization about the Filipino people after the elections, and where do you see yourself in the big picture?
Actually, just to provide you with context, when I decided to run for the presidency, yung approval rating ko was bagsak. Kaya iniisip ko, siguro hindi pa ganun ka yung buy-in ng tao sa klase ng governance that I have been espousing. Pero during the campaign, when you get millions during our rallies and yung spirit of volunteerism, I think was at its peak during the campaign, I realized ko na marami palang tao would want this kind of leadership. So it was very inspiring. It was very inspiring, pero hindi naman kami, hindi nakasara yung mata namin. to imagine that things can change
What
overnight.
happened?
So, ang pakiramdam ko lang
Wow.
yung campaign, yung election was still part of the process. So may
Yay.
mensahe talaga even after we lost the elections was that the advocacy did not end with the elections. It has to continue. We have to keep on pushing para makamtan natin yung klase ng pamamahala na gusto natin. So, with Angat Buhay now, it's actually an opportunity to pilot a lot of programs in local government units that are open to partnering with us to show that, you know, our programs work, it's replicable, and we are able to do it because of the kind of leadership and governance that we believe in. So parang ganun pa din. Ang problema lang, we had to deal with a lot of grief as far as our supporters are concerned. Pero siguro yung mindset kasi noon, yung election, yung end ng laban. So we just have to keep on reminding people na hindi eh. Hindi natapos doon kasi yung laban continues.
How do you keep the momentum going, even 2 years and beyond after the elections, para hindi magsawa yung Filipino people na maghanap pa rin ng ganung klaseng leadership?
Actually, mahirap siya. Mahirap siya in the sense na yung pag may kalaban ka kasi, that gives people energy eh. Eh ngayon na wala ka namang kalaban, parang may, in a way, parang lethargic yung tao. Pero ang kabutihan lang, I think the kind of volunteerism that we were able to start during the campaign stayed on. So a lot of the volunteer groups that was formed during the campaign, with or without direct partnership with us, continued. So maraming mga grupo na kahit nawalan ng contact with us, pag nahanap mo uli sila, ipipresent nila sa'yo, oh, because of the campaign, I were able to form this group and we have continued pushing for the advocacies that we started during the campaign. So masaya siya. Pero syempre yung reality, may mga tao din na nabubuhay lang pag may eleksyon, di ba? So, ang challenge for us, paano natin parang i-encourage sila na kahit walang eleksyon, patuloy pa din. Kasi while a lot of groups continued parang joining forces together, continuing with the programs, marami din yung naghihintay ng eleksyon.
Now, speaking of joining forces, I'm sure that you've heard of this idea that was floated around a couple of days ago, where former Senator Trillanes was saying that the Pings should join forces with the administration to defeat, for lack of a better word, the Dutertes. Now, the Kakampings online had some very strong reactions to this, but I guess the people would like to know, since you are the face of the movement, what were your thoughts on this?
Ako kasi klaro sa akin. Pagdating sa trabaho, hindi ko tinitingnan yung kilay. In fact, we have been working with government in many of our programs. Halimbawa, we are very active in the education sector. Even if VP Sara was Education Secretary before, we have been working with the Department of Education. We have been working with the DSWD in some of our programs. So sa akin, walang problema to work with government pagdating sa programa. Pero siguro to join forces sa politika, maraming considerations eh. Una, syempre, sobrang disaligned na mga paniniwala namin as far as values, as far as yung klase ng leadership sa governance na pinapaniwalaan. So kung mag-join forces, paano namin itatraverse? Siguro yun yung mga tanong. Hindi siya madali. Parang very practical isipin na just to win the elections. Pero marami kasing kailangan i-take into consideration. Kasi yung laban, hindi lang naman kami mga politiko.
Yes.
But we have to take into consideration what our supporters feel about it. Kasi ang ayaw nating mangyari to send a message na just to win elections, isasantabi na natin yung mga paniniwala natin. So, sa akin, while I'm open to anything for the sake of the country, kailangan isettle itong differences na to.
Well, kayo ay parang what they say, yung the leader of the opposition. That is, how people see you. Pero for you, ano ba dapat ang criteria o quality ng isang opposition leader?
Ako kasi, I remember there was a small event at the office of the Vice President just before I stepped down. I think ito yung oath-taking, nag-take ng oath si Senator Risa sa akin when yung for the fresh term. During the event, sinabi ko na I'm already passing on the baton to Senator Risa because I became the leader of the opposition only because I was the highest ranking member of government. So parang gano'n naman yun eh. Wala na ako sa posisyon, si Senator Risa na yung highest ranking member of government from the opposition. So rightful lang na siya na. So siguro marami lang siguro yung marami yung rancor and maraming nahirap mag-move on kasi parang the elections was just 2 years ago. So siguro transition pa ito sa tao na naisip na hindi na ako yon kasi pareho na tayo, private citizens tayo, pero maging very supportive tayo of the leadership of Senator Risa. So ako, I have tried to restrain myself from issuing statements on national issues para lang to send the message na nandito ako nagtatrabaho still for the cause. Ang tinatrabaho ko for the cause, quietly, we're doing ang advokay, we're doing organizing, we have been doing a lot to help the opposition. Halimbawa ngayon, yung mga kandidato na we think would best represent us in the Senate, sinasamahan kong umikot. Pero I try to keep quiet and not be as noisy as when I was still Vice President. Kasi parang recognition din na hindi na ako yun eh. Hindi na ako sinandyan si Senator Risa and all the other opposition members na natitira pa sa gobyerno.
So does that mean that you are shutting your doors na talaga to the national arena?
For now, I have decided to run for the mayorship of Naga. Tingin ko mas aligned yung skill sets ko doon. Mahirap na ipilit to run for something na parang hindi aligned sa capacities ko just to hold a national position. So I've been explaining this to supporters who are quite disappointed that I'm not running for the Senate. Pero sinasabi ko, hindi naman ako mawawala. Nandito ako supporting the cause. Pero in a different capacity, I don't think na iniwan ko yung laban just because I'm not running for the Senate. Kasi halimbawa, if I become mayor of Naga, marami akong pwedeng i-showcase na, diba, parang ipakita sa mga tao that this can be done, this is possible, to start programs that are replicable in other areas. So mas excited ako about this.
But what else do you think you can still achieve, if you, let's say, if you run for a national post? Ano yung mga things that you wish you could have done as VP that you might want to do the second time around?
Marami. Kasi yung mga nagawa ko kasi as Vice President, very limited siya. Because I wasn't given the space. I did not have enough space to show people that things can be done. So we were doing a lot of things on a small scale. Pero a lot of the programs that we started, talagang showed very good results. Pero again, at the core of it, parang yung mga tao kasi naging cynical na because of corruption, because of bad governance. Parang yung tao naging cynical in the sense na ganyan naman kayo lahat eh. Gusto ko ipakita na good governance is possible, na yung good governance hindi siya vision lang, hindi siya pagiging idealistic lang, pero it actually translates to better outcomes. Kaya kung napapansin nyo, nung Vice President ako, we were very conscious of parang yung metrics to show people that talagang pag sinukat kami, kahit gobyerno pa yung sumukat sa amin, kahit pa private yung sumukat sa amin, nasusukat yung pagiging mabuti. Halimbawa, yung POA,
highest
Hawaiian
rank.
Yeah. Halimbawa, in my first year of office, nag-ISO kami. We have consistently topped a lot of parang government programs. So sa akin, gusto ko ipakita yon. To show na pag ganito ang klase, ang gobyerno, mas marami kang magagawa. Pag ginamit mo ng mas maayos yung pera ng gobyerno, talaga nagtatranslate yon to better lives for our people. So, parang ganun yung mensaheng gusto kong ipakita. Pero tingin ko nga, hindi naman national office lang yung pwedeng maging, di ba? Hindi ko siya, hindi lang national office ako pwedeng mag-showcase ng ganung programa. Mas exciting nga pag local. Mas exciting pag local because you're closer to the ground. Mas nararamdaman mo yung pangangailangan ng tao. At the same time, nakikita mo kaagad yung results na ginagawa mo.
So let's talk about Angat Buhay because it's just celebrated its second anniversary. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How different is it now compared to the Angat Buhay under your program sa OVP?
Siguro yung number one, syempre we're a smaller organization now. Kasi when Angat Buhay was in the program of the OVP, we had the entire OVP team to back us up. Eh ngayon, we don't want to spend too much on operations and salaries. Kasi whatever little money we have, we want to spend it on programs. So we can't hire enough people. We're still basically dependent on volunteers. Yun yung number one. Pero yung number two, because I'm not officially a political figure anymore, and because I'm kind of quiet as far as national issues are concerned, parang less people perceive me as opposition. And because of that, partners are more comfortable dealing with us compared to when I was still VP. Kasi when I was still VP, medyo may ingay ako sa issues. People perceive me as kalaban niya ni Presidente. So even if they want to help us, either they shy away from helping us because they don't want to be associated with us, or they want to keep our partnership very, very confidential. Kasi baka may repercussions from them. Pero now, we don't have to deal with that anymore. We get more partners now. There is more energy in the partnerships now. Kasi hindi ako tinitingnan na siguro threat.
So it sounds like it's smooth sailing already, pero may mga challenges din ba kayo? Kasi we all see yung end product, di ba?
Yes.
The triumphs. Pero hindi naman namin nakikita yung road towards those successes.
Mahirap siya. Halimbawa, the education programs that we have been doing, may metrics kami doon. We see that it works. We have been getting a lot of requests from people who know of our programs to start programs in their localities. But because of budget constraints, we can't do that. So parang laging ganon. Parang parating nasa isip namin, if we only have more money, we could have done more. Lalo na for the programs that are tried and tested. Halimbawa, we piloted the program in Naga. Yung pilot namin, 6 schools lang muna. At reading program ito, we call the program Bayan Ko Teacher Ko program. Ang ganda ng resulta, so nag-request ulit yung DepEd na another round. Yung second round kami, 4 lang na schools kasi kulang ng pera. Tapos after the second batch, super okay, gusto rin naman. So we're on our third batch now. Pero the requests keep on coming. Pero what's holding us back is, syempre very dependent kami on resources. And kahit marami kaming partners, marami pa din resources na kailangan for us to be able to replicate the programs.
So now, of all the services, programs, and projects under Angat Buhay, what are you most proud of?
Number one, yung education programs. Kasi it directly impacts the crisis we're going through now as a country. Lahat na international assessment programs point to the fact na talagang very dismal yung performance natin. And the programs that we're doing now, nasusukat kasi agad eh. Nasusukat agad. And yun nga, pag sinasabi namin, ganito lang yung resulta, sana magawa natin to on a national scale, ang laki na sanang result. Yung number two, yung health programs namin, lalo na during the pandemic. Ang dami ng programs na ni-roll out as far as health is concerned, but we were able to roll out a really sophisticated telemedicine program, free telemedicine program for COVID patients initially. Then naalala ko on the first few months of the operations, parang more than 50,000 patients ang na-serve. And when COVID cases started dropping already, we slowly transitioned to it being a mental health, parang a mental health platform. Pero marami kaming frustrations. I'm still proud of it, pero marami kaming frustrations, like, in the sense na kulang pala yung available na
Mental health
practitioners. Tapos nagugulat kami sa amount of mental health consultations that we're having. So right now, ang dami namin partners na mga counselors, pero kulang tayo sa psychiatrists. So ang wait list namin sobrang haba. Parang 3 to 4 months ang waiting time. So while the program itself is very good, yung limitations talaga grabe. And yung limitations, parang hindi lang siya sa amin, limitation para sa amin, pero yung sabi nga nila global, pero dito lang sa bansa natin, kulang talaga. So right now, we're in the process of exploring ways on how to do a community-based mental health program. Just to find parang a solution to alangan namang maghintay na kailangan ng 4 months. So ngayon, even then, very satisfying siya. Meron din kaming very successful na farmers program, which we piloted also in Camarines Sur. So marami siya. Halimbawa in education, aside from the reading programs, we have been building classrooms and dormitories.
You just turned over one in Sorsogon.
Yeah, we just turned over our 14th. So that was the 14th. Yung 13th noon, a few days before Sorsogon, was Puerto Princesa. So ano siya, very satisfying in the sense that ang daming nagda-drop out of high school or college just because they live so far away. And yung accessibility yung problema. And the dorms change lives. Kasi they are able to finish school because they have a place to stay. Parang when we started building that, sabi namin, parang naisip namin, hindi natin naisipan ito earlier. Life-changing pala siya for the dormers.
Well, ano pa yung mga pangarap ninyo for
Marami.
angat buhay in the years to come?
Marami. Ang pinakapangarap talaga, syempre more resources, pero also that ma-replicate yung programs namin. We have a partnership with the province of Iloilo, and they are trying to replicate some of our programs already. So it's a big win for us. Hindi kailangan na kami yung implementers because of our limitations. Pero the fact that na-test na ito and they are working, yung pinakapangarap talaga namin, sana more local government units will adopt the programs. Para yun know, yung legacy ng Angat Buhay for them. Para kami din, makafocus na din on, mas innovation kasi kami.
Yeah.
Makafocus na din on innovating and finding more programs that will work. Parang yung model, yung ibebenta mo na nag-work ito, kung mag-i-invest lang kayo.
Okay, so it sounds like you have so many plans, things that you want to do for Angat Buhay. But what about you personally? Ano pa yung mga pangarap mo?
Ako sa sarili ko, wala na eh. Sa sarili ko, wala na. In fact, yung 2 years after my term ended, were actually the best years as far as yung ako as a person is concerned. Because I had the best of both worlds. I am able to do the advocacies I'm very passionate about. At the same time, I had time for myself. Nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to teach for a term in Harvard. Nagkaroon ako ng opportunity for a 1-month residency program in Italy. I am able to travel the world because of my speaking engagements. I am able to spend more time with the daughter. So what could be better than that?
Pero how do you balance everything? Kasi you are a public figure, mother of your daughters. You are also the leader of an NGO, an attorney, so many things. How do you balance all of that? What advice you have for women in leadership who are also managing like multiple responsibilities?
Ako sa akin, it helped that I had a very difficult parang life when I was younger kasi I got married very young. I was just working for a year and then I got married already. Tapos that was when I went to law school, started having children. So parang yun yung training ground ko na how to do so many things at the same time. Kaya nga, every time na I come across, kahit mga daughters ko na nagre-reklamo about the amount of work that are in their hands, parang sinasabi ko lagi, wala yan compared to, di ba, alimbawa nagtatrabaho nagre-reklamo sa trabaho, lalo sinasabi na, ikaw nga trabaho lang inaasikaso mo, ako nun, nag-aalaga ako sa inyo, nag-aaral ako. So I think it was a very good training ground for the kind of life that I was about to live. Pero at the same time, siguro prioritization din. Klaro lang sa'yo what are important. Halimbawa, ako, I don't have social life. I don't do
Yung dog milk ni Queen Queen.
Ang gatas niya.
Boss na!